Porque no veo los perritos y gatitos. No. ¿Qué? ¿Y luego qué? ¿Así de jajas? ¿No hay un cierre? ¿Dónde están? Ah, ¿ahora qué? Fracaso del contraste gráfico. A ver. El fracaso del contraste gráfico. El fracaso. A ver. Tiene que cortar el de esa manera. Ahí. Se pasa. Oigan, todo se acaba de inundar. ¿No notaron nada raro? ¿Cómo qué? ¿Cómo qué?
Useless.
Pues que todos los NPC están como sin nada. Podríamos decir de que es algo que pasó hace tiempo, ¿no? Según.
Huh? Isn't that Charlotte?
Ah, espérate, que este tiene audio.
Who's her friend and what are they chatting about?
Hey, please, with the cherry on top, Charlotte! Journalist extraordinaire! Please tell me you're joking! I read that a gang of criminals tricked the Gardamex by disguising themselves as blubber beasts. It's true, isn't it? It has to be! I've invested all my savings into graph adversarial technology and even taken out a sizable bank loan. I'm begging you like the beggiest beggar in all of begdom.
Jesus Christ.
I need you to calm down a little, Miss Lapine, Pauline. I admire your passion for your research, and I don't mean to dash your hopes for those, big-ticket orders. But I'm afraid I'm not joking. The Blubber Beast incident was a short story mailed to us by an anonymous amateur author, written in the style of a true story.
Una novela.
It sounds like they're just discussing a story, but why does this Miss Lapine Pauline seem so distressed?
Funnily enough, I actually remember being in a meeting where the editing team was debating the potential risk of misleading the public with this story. They even went to Maison Gardiennage for advice. But to our surprise, they fully supported us printing it. They figured that the false intel would be a great way to dupe potential criminals into wearing ridiculous costumes when breaking the law. In truth, Gardamex are extremely sophisticated in their capabilities. They can identify criminals just as reliably as the best human guards, so a crude disguise isn't gonna get you far. Since we ran that story, the Maison Gardiennage has made a slew of arrests, including, one phantom blubber beast, a titanic red-crowned finch, and a specter man. So I knew this story had helped out law enforcement, but this is the first time I'm learning of an innocent citizen being deceived by
¿En serio el hecho de que me haya cortado el rollo esta misión?
Uh-oh. She really sounds like she's in pain.
No, solo quiero saber qué le pasó.
I guess we should just ask Charlotte what's going on. Hey, Charlotte!
Traveler, Paimon, it's you! I was in the area taking some photos for a story when I got to talking to Miss Lapine Pauline about her research. She read an article in the Steambird about a criminal who evaded Gardamex detection by disguising themselves as a blubber beast. Inspired by this story, she spent a lot of Mora researching counter-criminal image recognition technology. Her aim was to improve Fontaine's public security by developing a device that could enhance Gardamex target recognition capabilities. She was hoping I could write an article to spread awareness about image recognition technology. She even paid me for the article and gave me one of her prototype devices before I could get a word in. But unfortunately, it was just a fictional story, and her efforts and aspirations were all in vain. I tried to let her down gently, but she's finding it all very hard to accept.
This is a new situation for us, too. It's such a pity. It seems like the author was only trying to make the story interesting, and the Maison Gardiennage only had Fontaine's best interest in mind.
No es culpa de nadie.
Wait, Miss Lapine Pauline, what are you doing?
I'm gonna pick a fight with a Gardamex, head to the opera at Piquenle, and get a one-way ticket to the Fortress of Meropide. That way, I won't have to repay my debts. It's the only way I can afford to keep on living.
Whoa! There's no need to go that far. I mean, come on. Look at you. You wouldn't even dent the Gardamix's armor. In all likelihood, they'd only hold you up at the Maison Gardiennage for a few days before letting you out, and then you'd still have to repay your debts.
Oh, no, pobrecita.
Actually, instead of going into the technicalities of that, how much did you actually invest? How bad can it really be?
270,000 mora.
¿Quién te vio la cara?
Okay, well, escaping to the fortress of Meripede over a sum like that seems like a last resort. Surely there must be other options.
Not anymore. I used to be an equipment supplier to the Fontaine Research Institute before that blew to pieces, and now I'm just a small-time engineer. I scraped together some savings over the past few years, but I put every last mora into this project, and now I'm left with nothing. It's not just my savings that are gone, it's my whole future as a graph adversarial technology specialist and my dreams of becoming a billionaire one day.
Pobrecita mujer, pero podríamos por favor ya dejar esta misión y pasar a la misión que
Don't
nos importa.
despair, Miss Lapine Pauline. This prototype you've given me, the camera lens for image recognition sample collection. It's really quite something. You said you designed it specifically for high-fidelity image capture and analysis, yes? The rapid focal length adjustment is a very useful function in its own right. It's sure to make many journalists' jobs much easier. In fact, I'd say it has the potential to revolutionize Fontaine's news media. So your research efforts thus far are by no means in vain. The technology you've developed may have many applications that you've never even considered. Absolutely. I've been working as a journalist for the Steambird for a long time now. No one understands the issues we journalists face on a day-to-day basis better than me. So keep calm, take heart, and start thinking about mass production. In the meantime, I'll show your invention to all my colleagues to drum up interest in your product.
I can't believe it! If this is true, then I can look into setting up a whole camera lens development pipeline. My big-ticket orders and billionaire aspirations are still in the cards.
Sus aspiraciones de multimillonaria, maravilloso.
Oh, maybe I should consider taking out another loan. That way, I can rapidly improve the lens production process, be the first to market, and prepare to battle for dominance in the camera industry.
Come on! Stop daydreaming about your pipelines for a minute. Just take it one step at a time and see how it goes.
La
It's no
invasión en
sense in
exceso
putting all
puede
your
llevarte
eggs
por
in
mal
one basket before
camino.
things are even off the ground.
And I can probably speak to some people I know and license my image recognition
No,
device
está
to a
dejando llevar.
workshop to raise some funds.
Ya te está
I
pelando,
can't
mujer.
believe I didn't think of this sooner. There's no time to lose. I need to get to work. Early bird gets the worm.
Can you believe her? She just ran off.
En efecto.
Paimon's pretty sure our advice went in one ear and out
Qué bonito
the
ya me
other.
creo.
It's
Ya sé,
understandable.
es lo mismo,
When
también lo pensé.
inspiration and passion strike at the same time, it's all too easy to throw yourself headfirst into your work and forget about everyone around you. A lot of journalists are the same way when they're first starting out. But don't you worry. I'm gonna write an article on all this, and I'll be checking in on her regularly. Her research has the potential to benefit the entire journalistic community. I'll give her plenty of input to stop her from going down any rabbit holes, and make sure mass production of her lens can begin as soon as possible.
It's
Es cosa de
reassuring to know
investigar.
that you'll be looking out for her, Charlotte.
Es una gran periodista.
Actually, you know what? Why don't you two take this prototype lens?
Cosa de
I'm sure you'll have
investigar
plenty of chances to
en qué
use it
tipo
on
de
your
equipos
travels.
ella es buena. Porque
It
probablemente
takes
sí es
the right
buena.
person to get the most out of a new technology. In
Yo
your
por un
hands,
tiempo preparé
it's
mucho
sure
a
to capture
Yang Fei.
some amazing sights.
Me parecía muy buena y ya después
Thanks a
como que ya no
lot,
la uso.
Charlotte.
Claro, es que aparte teniendo después a Yoimiya,
What a nice surprise!
¿para qué
I'm
quieres
just
una
curious to know
Yang Fei?
what you guys were talking about. Totally didn't expect to get a free gift out of it.
You're welcome. I got something out of this too. The beginnings of a very interesting news story. The boundaries between real news reports and news-like fiction must not be blurred, even when there's a compelling justification for doing so. Yes, that's how I'll phrase it to the editors when I give them my feedback. Let's hope we don't mislead any more well-meaning citizens in the future.
Y sí, lo que sea. Al acto final, habla con Charlotte, que ya había hablado con ella. Pero, ok.
The soil renewed. The Sula attacks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Sula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it. Skyship Winglet, booner brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
A lo mejor siempre lo han sido.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down. The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
La verdad es que me quedo con ganas de saber más.
Paimon's curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
No quiero entrevistas, quiero hablar con Nobilet y con Furina. ¿Por qué me hacen esto?
Navia!
Ah, es que claro, falta lo más importante.
Oh, it's you. What brings you all here?
Los Fatui quitándole la hipnosis, por supuesto que sí.
Hey, we're just having a look around.
Aún no se puede porque ya regresó a...
I'm here to update myself on how things
Hold
are
on,
going
hold on.
here.
Buen punto. Por eso tenemos que seguir
the
con esto.
Fatui are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snežević. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work. Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That will have to be enough.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats.
¿Qué?
But if you
Los
don't
gatos.
mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clorant?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision-makers. And, well, I do already happen to be connected to Mr. Callis.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler. It's better than wasting time persuading Chlorand, at any rate.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up. And smile.
Por supuesto, sonreír. Ah, pues sí, vamos a sonreír, ok.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Chlorand.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
¿Sabías que iba a ir hasta allí?
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridesley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Sí, move. Tengo que hablar con no.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
Dígete al fuerte. Ay, ¿es en serio? ¿Por qué me haces esto? ¡Ah! ¿Aquí no me baneo? No.
Wow.
No baneo.
Guess we're here again, huh?
Yo soy buena
There's
onda.
a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you
La
come
verdad, para
all
nada.
the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need.
Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier.
Para que no vean que sí son parejitas.
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on.
Ooh.
The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
tuve la más la mínima oportunidad se lanza sin pensar.
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple?
Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. We've seen this kind of thing before. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Siegeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse?
Sure. Come on, Miss Siegeween. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
Ah, pues ya ves, lo típico, lo de todos los días. Oscuro, lúgubre y lleno de presos para variar.
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some changes, but this place is still more or less the same.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jerrier? Miss Lorvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, which is a pity.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two.
Das una vuelta con Grit. Me encuentro corriendo en la
I
superficie.
see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
¿Dónde está? Novile siempre se nos olvida después dónde está el pobrecito.
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. Until then. All right. Last stop, the docks.
Ya, por favor, señora. Suélteme.